This is Inside Indiana Business Radio for the afternoon of Monday, July 22nd, 2024. I'm Mark Mazurek. Research engineers at Purdue are now the recipients of a Guinness World Record for the size of the university's drum. But it's not the large one used by the marching band, it's actually about the width of a human hair, and it's made by a new 3D printer at the university. The microscopic drum was made to test the printer's capabilities, and it will be used to make microbots that have far-reaching applications in the medical field. Mechanical engineering professor David Capillari said the new printer can be a game-changer in microbot technology.
My research group is working on microrobotics, so really small gripping microrobots. We fabricate swimming microrobots with little helical tails, tumbling microrobots as well. So it's very challenging how to fabricate these robots. I'm always looking at new technology that we can acquire and use in order to build these microrobots.
The printer was made possible by a grant from the U.S. National Science Foundation. The printer helps make microbots more efficiently and with a wider range of motions.
So we talk a lot about giant leaps here at Purdue, really great progress that we're making, but sometimes a giant leap can be very small.
Even as it becomes a culture war flashpoint, Hoosier companies are continuing diversity, equity, and inclusion measures. The Indiana Chamber of Commerce is gearing up for its 4th annual DEI Summit, and large Indiana companies like Eli Lilly and Company are continuing such efforts to great success. Lilly runs numerous DEI initiatives, including a professional apprenticeship program to train qualified employees without 4-year degrees. The company also researches barriers and opportunities for female and disabled employees, runs company-wide training sessions, and offers a variety of employee resource groups, among other efforts. Ahead of the DEI Summit, Lilly's Chief Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Officer Julie Dunlap said DEI is, quote, essential for fulfilling our purpose of creating medicines that make life better for people around the world, end quote. DEI efforts promote equity in business practices for those in particular who have faced historic discrimination or barriers. But backlash to DEI has grown, with opponents labeling the initiatives as ineffective or pejoratively, quote, woke, end quote. Evansville Mayor Stephanie Terry is asking members of the community to share their thoughts as the city works to create a new strategic plan. The mayor's office has launched a survey in which residents can give their thoughts on city priorities, city services, and the city in general. The survey is part of the strategic planning process that Terry's administration has begun with Chicago-based public accounting and consulting firm Crowe LLP. The process to create the plan is expected to take about 5 months to complete. The plan is expected to be released to the public before the end of the year. From the #1 source for Indiana business news, this is Inside Indiana Business Radio.
IBJ Media, Inside Indiana Business, and the Indiana Economic Development Corporation invite you to the Engage Indiana series, presented by CareSource, Indiana University, and Old National Bank. With an unrelenting focus on growing Indiana's economy, we'll dive into each region's unique challenges and distinct opportunities for growth. 9 regions, 1 goal. Indiana's bold future starts here. Discover more and register at ibj.com/engage.
And Indiana University has named its first ever chief law enforcement officer to lead the college's police department. Anthony Williams is currently a lieutenant at the Northwest Missouri State University Police Department, but he will begin his new role at IU on August 1st. He will lead the IU Police Department's law enforcement operations on all 9 campuses statewide. Williams' appointment comes after a turbulent spring at IU's Bloomington campus after Indiana State Police arrested dozens of demonstrators at Dunn Meadow who were protesting the war in Gaza. Several Indiana delegates to the Democratic National Convention say they plan to support Vice President Kamala Harris as the party's presidential nominee after President Joe Biden announced this weekend that he is withdrawing from the race. Indiana Democratic Party Chair Mike Schmuhl, who is a superdelegate, said the party is uniting quickly behind Harris as evidenced by the well over $50 million raised for her campaign in less than 24 hours. The Associated Press reported Monday that the DNC's Rules Committee will meet virtually on Wednesday to hash out details for a potential roll call vote to select Harris ahead of the convention. I'm Mark Mazurek for Inside Indiana Business Radio on Demand.